Welcome back to gaming's greatest hits, and unfortunately its greatest misses as well, which is kind of depressing seeing as how we wish gaming had just greatest hits. This is Golden Warrior with 4 zeros, and it's time once again to delve into a world of gaming, electronics, controllers, Wii's, 360s, PS3s, discs, hard drives, and other stuff related to gaming that I probably can't think of right now. Let's get right to it, alright? Is it time to rock? Not really, but we're going to talk about Guitar Hero. Now, when they first came up with this idea, I bet a lot of people were like, how are they going to make this work? I mean, why would we want to play a guitar on a system when we could play a guitar in real life? But people were blown away by the song choices and the seemingly simple system of playing Guitar Hero, and it has produced some of gaming's funniest and greatest moments to date in the history of gaming. I mean, you can't mention great things without talking about Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero has been one of people's favorite ways to keep themselves entertained at a party. It's a great way to spend time with friends playing video games. Guitar Hero's fun, it's interesting, and it keeps people looking. Even if you're not playing, it's fun to watch other people mess up or do really good when they're playing Guitar Hero. I tried it once myself. I wasn't very good at it. Guess I'm used to a controller rather than a guitar-shaped controller thingamabob or whatever you'd call it. There's really not that much to say about Guitar Hero, other than that it is one of gaming's greatest hits. Whether or not people seem to think it is, I don't know. I'm not everyone else in the entire world, so I can't tell you what they're thinking at the moment. Okay, now we move from something good right back to something bad. And as unfortunate as it is to talk about bad things, it's kind of my job now that I'm doing gaming's greatest hits and misses, which will have a lot more parts than I originally intended for it to have, and that kind of makes me wary of doing this, but I started this and I'm going to see it through to the end no matter what. Pokemon is probably one of gaming's greatest. You'll probably see it somewhere along the line, somewhere in this series, but this is not Pokemon. This is a poor excuse for a game, period. It's another game that people wish that hadn't been invented. It's bad. Pokemon, good. Pokemon Channel, not so good. What makes it stupid? What makes it dumb? What makes it bad? Everything and anything that you can say about this game is bad. Right off the bat, you'll notice it's for the GameCube. That's the first negative. A Pokemon game for the GameCube doesn't tend to do well. Another negative is the gameplay. There almost is no gameplay. Any gameplay they have is boring. It's called Pokemon Channel. It's about television. We're putting a disc in a system. We don't want to play a television-related game on our television. That's redundant. Redundant, people! If you didn't think it's redundant, say it to yourself. Playing a television game on a television. That's the most redundant thing I've ever heard of. We play games to visit new worlds, not go to the one we're staring at while we're playing the actual video game. I cannot tell you how much I despise this game. I do not ever want to play it. When I heard about it, I thought it sounded dumb. When I heard how you play it, I thought it was dumb. It's just dumb all around. It's a bad game. It's a miss. It's a complete and total miss. I know gaming can't be perfect, but it'd be nice if they thought about it. It doesn't even seem like they put much thought into this game. They just decided, we'll slap together a Pokemon game, and because it's Pokemon, everyone will love it. That's the only good thing about this game is the word Pokemon in the title. That's it. Nothing else about this game is really good. Not the gameplay, not the graphics, not anything. If you can find a single good thing about this game, I would be shocked. I cannot think of anything. Well, that's it for this miss, and this is a very depressing miss because Pokemon's really good. Everyone loves Pokemon, but this is depressing. Onto a hit, which is not depressing. It is the opposite of depressing. It is good. BioShock. It's a game none of us really knew that much about to begin with, but it's a game that took us away to a place we'd never been underwater, and it blew our frickin' minds, people. It blew all of our minds. It was an amazing game with an interesting story and a semi-interesting main character. And Bioshock 2 did the same thing for us. It took us to the same location, but with new areas and a new protagonist. A Big Daddy this time, which is something that everyone wanted to play as from the first one, which made the second one just as good as the first one. The second one had a little more story, but the second one had, like I said, the second one had more story, which kind of made the second one a little bit better than the first one in some aspects, but a little bit worse in other aspects. Where to begin? The special array of enemies. The Big Daddies, they're really cool enemies. The Splicers, some of them are interesting. The Houdini Splicer and the Spider Splicer are both very interesting. The Little Sisters are creepy, and the choice of whether you want to harvest them, which will get you more Eve, but will cause a bad ending, or if you want to rescue them, which will get you less Eve, making it harder throughout the game, but you'll get a better ending if you rescue all of them. I mean, you have choice in there. The second one has more choices, like whether or not to kill certain people, and whether to adopt, or harvest the little sister yet again. Also, choices. Choices are one of the big things in the Bioshock world. It's not a hugely important thing. It'll get you the best ending, but choices aren't all that Bioshock is about, trust me. The crux of Bioshock is the gameplay. There's a lot of fighting. There's all those plasmids, lightning, fire, ice, wind, things that will make the enemies attack other enemies, things that will make the robots attack other enemies, things that will take control of robots. And from the first game to the second game, your weapons and plasmids get upgraded to a new level. You get a drill, you get something that pins things to the wall, you get trap rivets, things you didn't have in the first game. A lot of things you didn't have in the first game, which makes the second game, once again, a lot better in many ways than the first game. I could talk about Bioshock forever, but I'm not going to. I mean, we have 4 of gaming's greatest hits and misses here, and I still have one more to go after this. I'll just say this about Bioshock. It's a great game series, and if you don't already know about it, there's a new game coming out eventually called Bioshock Infinite, which doesn't take place on the ground, underwater like the original series. It takes place above ground in like a floating city or something. I'm not really sure. The details to me are a little bit sketchy at the moment, but trust me, it's going to be just as good. The developers really do know what they're doing. Okay, now on to the next big video gaming hit. Portal! I mean, how can you not love this game? It's a game everybody loves if they play it. It's one of those games you look at and say, oh, this game will be stupid. It's what I said, but when you play it, it's one of the best games I have ever played. I have fun replaying it, even though I know how to do pretty much everything there is to do in the game. It doesn't matter how many times I play it, I never get sick of playing it. It's an awesome game. I mean, also you have Portal still alive for Xbox Live Arcade, which gives you new achievements, which has new achievements and such, and then a couple extra new advanced maps and such, and that makes it even better. The original is just as good as still alive. They're both really good. What makes Portal so great? The gameplay. I mean, you zap one area, you take something, you pull it through a portal, and you go to another area. The gameplay is just amazing to me. I mean, it's a puzzle-solving system that hasn't been tried in any other game yet. There's very little platforming. There's no crawling up walls. There's no really incredibly super ultimate hard solutions. The solution is always there. Sometimes you have to look to find it. Sometimes you have to think outside the box to get the answer. And sometimes, and this is one of the best parts, the puzzles have multiple answers. There's multiple ways to get through it. Sometimes you can do it with 2 portals, sometimes 20, sometimes 2 steps, sometimes 100. It all depends on how you look at things. You can solve puzzles in various ways and make the game easier or harder for yourself depending on how good you are. And the advanced maps add even more challenge to this game. I mean, and the least portals, least steps, and least time challenges are even better. I love them all. They are all great challenges, and I enjoyed this game immensely. I'm not sure if everybody would, but it's a game that I love to play, and that I will keep playing until I feel like I can't play it anymore. And I like the developer commentary, too. A lot of people don't like Valve's developer commentary. I love it. It's awesome. Well, I can't really think of anything else to say about Portal. But once again, This has been Gaming's Greatest Hits and Misses, narrated by me, Golden Warrior, with, once again, 4 zeros, reminding you that Part 4, not the last part. There is much, 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 much more on the horizon. I will see you in the next part.